And I say to myself, what a wonderful world.
I'm going to the Cardinals.
Man, I'm gonna miss that guy.
I'm really bummed out that Calais Campbell is going to the Cardinals. Now, they gave him a lot more money than apparently the Dolphins were offering.
Which is amazing because here's what I can't understand. I don't know if we necessarily understand the importance of players on our team.
Right?
Because there's two situations that I can think of where those guys made a pretty big impact and you try to lowball them. Calais Campbell and who's the Russian the year before that went to the Vikings? Van Ginkel.
Thanks. They didn't even offer Van Ginkel a contract.
They didn't even offer him a contract. Like, that's how insignificant you thought he was? What games are you watching?
He was easily like one of the most impactful defenders.
Right.
It keeps happening on defense.
And then you realize you got rid of a Pro Bowler. Because Van Ginkel went to the Pro Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't, like, what games are you watching? Because the games I'm watching, I'm looking at these guys going, ooh, he's important. He's important. Okay, we need to keep him. We need to do this, right? And those are the first guys out the door.
Do you think Anthony Weaver, when he gets the news yesterday, he goes, does he need a minute?
No. Here's the problem. In all businesses, your boss makes a decision that affects you, but it's your boss. So basically, you just go with the flow and try to be a company guy.
Okay, but when he's sitting at the dinner table
by himself
with Mrs. Weaves and they're having their meatloaf.
Oh, they talking about work.
Like he goes, got rid of our captain and our only other defensive lineman besides Zach Sealer. But other than that, honey, pass the ketchup. Like,
you think he's eating a meal that requires ketchup?
Isn't meatloaf? I'm not a big meatloaf fan. I thought it was made with ketchup.
I don't think
people have ketchup on it.
Ooh,
nah.
No,
I'm not telling you what.
Maybe
I ain't gonna lie. As much as I love Big Spoon, right? Y'all know what's up.
Yeah.
If she ever came to me and said I made a meatloaf, I said you basically just made a square-shaped hamburger.
But like,
no, I'll pass.
Can I just say, I know last year was a disaster with the quarterback, but I'm having a hard time. Let's get to our headlines. Brought to you by Doral Hyundai. Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory with Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are Doral Hyundai.
Hold on. Before you say, can I put the disclaimer out there?
Yeah.
The disclaimer is this. The guy I do the show with sometimes wants a team with feelings, and I like them and stuff like that, and not always with what they can actually do for the team. That being said, we'll probably be on the same page with this one.
Let's say the difference was 3 million, 2 million, right? Now, I know people are pointing out the Eichenberg thing, which you guys know how I feel. Like, you literally could put a mannequin out there and I'd be happier than having Liam Eichenberg there. Fine, I get it. He's a cheap lineman. I'm still having a hard time with the Zach Wilson thing. I really am. Because I heard Mike McDaniel this week say he was a target of ours. And the fact that he got one of the highest contracts of all backup quarterbacks to a guy you might need, but if you play him, your season's probably over anyway, as opposed to a guy I know they need. And I don't know, Leroy, that just doesn't sit too hot with me.
We did it back-to-back years. Like, who would have, like, I don't care what Van Ginkel's importance is to another team. Look at what his importance was to this team with your two Russians hurt.
Yeah.
So, like, it was even more spelled out for you with Van Ginkel because of your injuries. So the Calais thing, here's one of those situations where I will say this. You have some veterans on this team and one that there's only probably a couple of guys he respects in the room. And the one thing Calais Campbell does is garner respect.
That's right.
And that is a guy not only on the field, but you kind of need him in the locker room because you know everybody in that locker room respects him.
Yep.
And right now, with where this team is and all of the stuff being floated around about, how things are run, you need some quality veterans to kind of be the voice of the coach in the locker room. That's what Calais Campbell is.
And the other thing
And
is,
so while we looking at age and we looking at that dude has more importance than just that. And I think that is what gets lost.
I don't know, man. It just seems to me like this was one of those where it clearly you're not going to like expect him to take the same thing that he took last year when he outperformed his contract the way that he did. But it's kind of like they felt like, yeah, little bump. Huh? Little bump. And maybe gets $6 million guaranteed.
Right.
I don't know, man. I don't know. To me, like, what's been the win this offseason so far? What's been the like?
We didn't overpay for someone.
But they
That's our
can't.
win.
But they can't.
Well, that's our
because they have no money.
win. Nah.
But the big win is what? That they maybe signed a Pro Bowler off a torn Achilles?
Who's that?
Daniels, the guard? Like, is that the big win?
Right.
Is the big prize a guy who's milking his way back from a torn Achilles?
I don't know, because then if he does ball out and you got to pay him next year, then he'll be gone.
He's like, I don't know about his injury past.
Right.
Keep him around. We only
I
signed.
don't
We don't give him new contracts.
Too healthy.
I don't know what the plan is, because you have some guys that you could have just kept to have some consistency. And I don't know what the plan is. I don't know what the plan is, in the near future. I always tend to wait it out a little bit, because at the end of the day, they could say, we let Van Ginkles go and we got chopped.
Yeah, they did.
Right. And so I'm going to wait, but I still think so think about this. It's just when he talked from week to week, you could just tell everybody in that locker room respected him.
Yeah, we were still hungry. And there it is.
I'm going to miss that guy. How are we going to be able to just tell someone?
We're still hungry.
No, we not. We are. We hungry, but we not going to Prime 112. We're going to Outback.
Yeah, Les.
With no blooming onion.
No blooming onion, just the regular.
You're getting the marble bread.
Right. I mean, like 2 years ago, they were trading and getting rid of picks and F those picks and all that. And now we shopping at Temu.
Stun Steve says he was there to protect Tyreek from the police.
Right.
That's true.
Right?
They're like, nah, sorry. We got to pay Eichenberg $2 million guaranteed.
So he got what, 5.5, 6 million?
He got 5.5. That could be 7.5.
Okay.
5.5 guaranteed. Apparently, I guess what was it? Dolphins were giving him 3. It was like the word.
Do you think, I don't know, I could be wrong. Leroy, do you think he's worth the contract, or do you think they drastically overpaid?
I would say a little bit of both, but here's the deal. Here,
yeah,
he's worth that contract.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Do you think
so? If he would have went and got that deal, and then went to the Dolphins and said, "Here's what I'm getting. Can you match it?"
Yeah, he's only getting that.
I would say yes.
But like, and part of the thing is you're only getting that amount because he's 39.
Yeah.
And so it's an anomaly.
Yeah.
And so everybody's like, oh, well, there's going to be a time where the wheels fall off. But it
Of
didn't look
course.
like last year.
So you say
He played like a 28-year-old.
if he was 28, then he deserves $20 million
Yes.
for the way that he just played.
Dude, come on. He was amazing last year.
Yeah, but you're right. I am like, well, the wheels are gonna fall off, but they haven't.
I get it.
They haven't yet.
I
Take a
just think on this team,
Mhm.
when some of the guys that you named captain are questionable, having a guy like him in the locker room can solidify that dynamic of the team because you have some quality leaders in your locker room.
Yep.
And I think those are the parts of a franchise that people sometimes overlook, right? That those 3 or 4 guys that like they go, I don't care about Mike McDaniel, but that Calais, I want to do right by him. You need some of those guys in your locker room.
Schmeath and Schmalnick, who actually, of course, would make this point on everybody's lovable Calais Campbell. Counterpoint, he was already in a locker room that was lost.
Dallas,
I don't like it. Back after this.
we're still hungry.